Hello and welcome back to our sustainable journey. I am Steve. Today, we're gonna do some stuff with these guys. As some of you know, I had to get rid of my CFTs because there were pests getting in there, like big pests, like I think it was moles or rats or something was eating the worms. And so we found these because we had some with our that we use for our chicken feed, and we decided to try them out because I got some excess ones from a winery because that's what they use, was these food safe containers, these giant boxes. So I think they're about 4 feet by 4 feet by about 3 feet. And they do really well. We can move them around with the tractor, makes life easy. And so I found a place that sells them. And so I'm going to start using these for worm bins because if you look, you can stack them. We can stack them 3 high, at least I think with the tractor. So that's what I'm going to do. But we have pigs coming this weekend. We got a new type of pig that we're going to try out this year. And so I just picked up some feed to make sure that we have enough food for them, because we finished off the feed last year with the other pigs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all that feed into one of these, because about 20 bags of feed will fit into one of these containers. So 20 bags are 50-pound bags. That's about 1,000 pounds of food. And I mentioned food, and the chickens come running. I don't have anything, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm going to load all of those bags into one of these, and then I'm probably gonna take one of these and finish off the last. You can't see it from here. The gravity wagon's over there. We'll finish off that, empty that thing out, because I think we're due for another load of chicken feed, because as you can see, we have a lot of chickens, and sometime this week or next we have another 100 showing up. So we're trying to get enough eggs during the winter to continue providing our customers with plenty of eggs in the wintertime. Because right now we're getting about 7 or 8 dozen eggs a day, but in the winter we were getting 2 to 3. And so we're trying to get a type of bird that will lay more eggs in the winter, because all these guys shut down, which is fine. Like, I don't want to, there's ways around that. You can trick them by leaving lights on throughout the day and manipulating their minds. But we don't do that. That sounds like a terrible thing to do to chickens. So we figured we would just get more chickens, because that makes way more sense. So those are coming in the next week, I think. So I need to get the gravity wagon cleaned out of all that feed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these down and then start putting that feed in there. flies inside. All right, so they come with lids. See, nice, clean, white instead of, I don't remember what color the other ones are, gray. Something like that. They're easy to flip over. All right, let's see if I can get this one out of here on my own.
A few moments later.
Okay. It's actually easier to flip it on its side and pull that one off of that one. Okay, so now we have 4. So I'm going to be loading this one with hog feed. So what we do is we take this bin once it's full and we put it right outside the pig pen. So when you're feeding them, you don't have to go too far or carry bags of feed. Like, I don't want to carry bags of feed. That's a pain in the butt. So try and make your life as easy as possible.
2,000 years later.
Okay, 1,000 pounds of feed fits in one of these perfectly. Spread it out a little bit. And then I can put a lid on it. And then we leave it outside. See? Perfect. There's what's left. And those, I believe, are fully compostable. So we'll add those into either the worm bins or the hot compost. Okay, we're down to the last bin because I used the other two. Let's zoom out there. They are chicken feed. So we got 2 for chicken feed, 1 for hog feed, 1 for the worms. Technically there's one in the barn that I'm going to use for the worms as well, but so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to put sifted castings in it, because it is the time of year where everybody wants castings. So we usually put them aside when we think we're close. We don't sift them until the weather's nice and I can do it outside, because I love sifting outside. Versus doing it inside of a building, that totally sucks. So what I do, or what I have been doing, is kind of sifting as I go into 5-gallon buckets, because we have all of our food scrap buckets, and we have some that didn't quite work for food scraps. And I'll show you why. So for some reason, these buckets, we put an X on them because the lids don't fit. So we had a whole delivery, 100 buckets, that for some reason the lids didn't fit. They were made wrong or something. So those ones we use for casting. So right now I have 4 of those full. So they basically look like that. They've been sifted. And I'm just going to dump them in that tub. So, and technically I have 6 times, so 140 pounds ish, that are going out to a customer tomorrow. So we go through quite a bit this time of year. So, how to store castings after you've sifted them. We keep them in buckets with a loose lid. You want to make sure they stay moist. So sometimes you can put like wet newspaper on top, or a plastic sheet or something, or plastic bag, like a jewel bag or something like that on top, to just keep the moisture in there a little bit. Not to, you don't want it to be too moist. You don't want them to get wet and gross, but you definitely want them to stay living, the microbes in there. You want them to stay alive, so you don't want them to dry out. So that's why we keep lids on them. That's why I'm going to put them in one of those bins. And what we might end up doing is putting some worms in there, just to keep the whole thing active, and then just sift them out as we need them. And that's what I tell people is, if you don't need the castings, you don't need to sift them. If you sift out too many, let's say you have a couple extra and you don't know what to do with it, just put it back in the worm bin. Like, who cares? Just sift it out again. It's not a big deal to put it back in there. It's not going to hurt anything. The problem is if you run out of space, then you're going to need to put it in something else. But if you have the room for it, keep it in the bin. So there you go. That'll do it for us this week. Saturday, when this video comes up, I'm going to be picking up pigs and cows, and we have chickens coming tomorrow. We got 100 chicks coming tomorrow, so we need to get that going, get that all ready to go. So we'll have lots of updates next week. All right, see y'all later. I don't know how, but this little bee got trapped. So, no, don't. Oh my goodness, you're gonna get yourself hurt. Come on. Don't get squished, bee. I can't. There we go. Oh, you can fall at the bottom. Maybe you can fall at the bottom. That'll work. Yay! Freedom! Alright, little bee. I don't know if you're gonna make it. I tried.